One. And we're back once again in a new year, baby. Happy New Year, everyone. Did you guys do anything for New Year's?
I worked.
Nice!
Yeah.
I also worked.
Nice.
Nice. Look at us. Cold
Came up
man.
there, just kiss though.
You are old, Aaron. That is true.
I am, dude. I just realized how old I actually am. Watching some of these TikToks back in the day, and I'm just like, God damn.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't do anything either. I did. I streamed for the first time in forever.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's actually what I plan to do after this podcast, but
I'm about to be doing it during podcast. Nice.
yeah. This is a Saturday, so we already know the results of Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and the Colts and the Texans are currently playing. And we all took the Steelers. Nothing really crazy.
No, yeah, I took them with a point.
Same.
I took them with 12.
Beautiful.
They were playing for something. Baltimore, they were playing their backups.
Yeah, I had big on Baltimore, and then I was like, wait, they've already clinched. So, none of their big boys should be in at all.
Yeah, it's gonna take 2 weeks.
Yeah, literally.
Really, I hope it bites them in the ass, because if Dallas were to make it to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't want to run into the juggernauts of the Ravens.
Yeah.
It's okay. Playoff time is usually when they fall off in life anyway.
Huh, just like the Cowboys.
Looks like I like that. But yeah. I have 2 on the Colts, but I don't know how that game's looking right now.
I have 6 on the Texans. They're up by 4 right now.
Yeah, I put 2 on the Colts because I just wanted to see my boy Minshew do good things.
I have 2 on the Colts. Oh, they're not looking good on third down. I think they're 0 for 4. JT ran into his own player, and then he got thrown back.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know. Unless something changed, it's looking like a Texans W in my opinion.
Well, it's only 7-3 in the second, so we'll see. Lots of time.
Yeah, the second half usually is explosive.
But our first game that we'll actually talk about that hasn't started will be Cleveland versus Cincinnati.
And Cleveland, they about to poop all over them boys. I got 10 on Cleveland.
I don't think Cleveland's even playing for anything.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They're not playing for anything?
I think they're locked into the 5th seed. I don't think they can go up and down.
I'm pretty sure they can go down. Well, no, this was last week. I don't know.
I got 6 on Cleveland. I think they're still playing their starters, and
yeah,
I mean
they still got to play chemistry with a quarterback who came in 5 weeks ago off his couch.
Flacco's been killing it, so I'll put 6 on the Browns, and that defense is still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's still the number 3 defense in the league, top 3.
Well, I don't think they can go up or down. Maybe I'm wrong. So I put 15 on the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to try to get another great game out of their backup QB. And if he does good, maybe ship him off since you got Burrow. Or keep him as a reliable backup.
Yep. There's a lot of backup quarterbacks this year that will probably have jobs somewhere. See, even if it's as a backup, they're gonna have jobs this year, next year.
Yeah.
But
especially grades and stuff. Like what happened to Kirk? They have 3 different quarterbacks over there.
Yeah. But yeah, not much to say about that. Bengals and Browns isn't really that enticing of a matchup. Next up, another one that's probably not too exciting: the Lions versus the Vikings. I got 10 on the Lions, even if they're playing their backups. I've seen what the Viking starters have been doing, and it's not looking
We're
good.
not playing our backups. So we're about to put league on blast this game.
By being up
And
a
we'll say
team that
this.
doesn't have a quarterback.
That's right. And all you have to do is blame the Cowboys and the officials. That's it. So Campbell, never seen him that heated, and I've never seen him talk about the next week like he did in those interviews. He even went on the radio show, talk show, and literally told the host to stop being a bitch and say how it is. Because they were talking about the 4th down call, or the 2-point conversion call, and why he didn't just take the extra point. And he said, I'm just another person on your show. He said, say what you want to say. Well, he said, no, say what you want to say. Well, I think it was reckless. He's like, they're like, well, what about if it was 10 plus yards? And he's like, well, of course we kicked the fucking ball. Like, I just know that we have a point to prove. So, and Minnesota just so happens to be the team that we're about to prove it against.
Now, Detroit really choked at the end, sadly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we choked.
I mean, they did commit the penalty.
Yes.
It wasn't like a blatant, like, bad.
Be a redo.
No, it doesn't. It's a penalty.
When one player fucking goes to an official and says something, that's what that is meant. So yes, there was a penalty on the fucking play, but it was because of Allen. It was not Detroit's fault. 70 didn't even get to go up to the fucking ref, so how did he report? How did he report? Police. How did he report? He didn't.
Okay, he needed the signal that he was in the game, or he was a viable option, whatever the fuck it's called, and he didn't signal.
Yes.
So
he didn't say what? Kevin, how didn't he signal when he was in front of the ref with an ACL?
Because he didn't do the signal. You have to do the signal that you're an eligible receiver. You have to like fucking put your arm up and tap your chest or whatever.
No, you tap. All you do is wipe your jersey. You go up to him, wipe, and say report. Just like Decker said. So I'm not blaming the Cowboys because it's not their fault. It's not the Cowboys' fault. But I will say that fucking officiating crew should be gone.
I just think officiating is very inconsistent.
They screwed Kansas City. They have screwed some of the biggest games this year.
The officiating is very inconsistent in ways of like what we just talked about. How I said that you have to like put your arm and stuff. That's how I've always seen it. But there's other teams that don't do it that way, which makes no sense.
The thing is they go over this before the game. The refs didn't just know. Like, that wasn't just a play that just happened. Every trick play, like that fake punt we did on 4th and 6, the refs knew about that. The refs knew that he was going to throw the ball, that Maben was going to throw the ball. They knew that, so they were looking for it. Just like Skipper, 4-5 of the times that we ran a jumbo package, Skipper reported. And so they figured since we were doing that, they figured Skipper would be the one. Even though he was 10, 15 yards away from the officials, trying to run up there just to stand with them. So, I'm not saying that there wasn't a penalty. I'm saying that it was on the officials for calling it wrong. It should have been a replay. Replay on downs. Right there.
Yeah, there's like a million things that happen at 2-point conversion. Too.
Yeah,
because after that, then like a bunch more penalties kept happening. And it was like, well, it took forever for him to actually complete the 2-point conversion.
And then Goff blew it.
I mean, he got in there like 3 times.
And I get that, but
before it was finally called like fair, you know what I mean? Which is kind of ass.
Like Goff literally just has to put a 10, 15 yard throw on the dot, and tight end falls in, and we don't have to worry about anything. So, like, I hate the officials, but my hate for Goff, like, after the playoff game that we lose, I want Goff on a bus out of Detroit.
I'm not gonna say his ass because in that game because of the ending. Because when you have to redo a 2-point conversion like 3 or 4 times, and you get it a majority of those times.
Triple coverage 8 times. He threw into triple coverage 8 times. He had 3 or 4 different receivers.
Yes, but what I'm saying is he pretty much won the game like 3 different times at the end there, and then they just didn't give it to him. So that's why I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but then when it really mattered, he couldn't come through, and that's what pisses me off.
But yeah, Goff. I know you hate Goff.
Yeah, Goff is dead to me now.
But I mean, he's still a good quarterback.
This is what I've told people. I appreciate everything he did when he was playing good. He was good, but lately he's sluggish. He's not really showing the heart that he did. And I don't know if it's because maybe there's no contract talk. And so he's feeling like he's about to get shipped. I don't know what it is, but I know beginning of the year Goff is not this Goff.
Yeah, he's saving all the gas in the tank for playoff time.
So the refs can just shove it in their buns.
I mean, shit. We'll see what he does in playoffs. Is the way I look at it. Because, yeah, he's been underperforming recently, but there's definitely in playoffs, and that's where it matters.
You are right, and I put 16 on them as well.
Yeah, they were a pretty easy one to go high on. I'm actually gonna move my 16 to them because I don't really know if their starters are playing or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're playing starters.
Pretty sure y'all are too.
Who do you take, Mook? I'm not.
It's an NFC North matchup, so you know we're gonna go in there. JJ freaking went for 200 on us last time, so we can't put backups in it. We're just gonna give the game away. I mean, our corners are already backups, so I don't know what you want.
Is Branch out?
Who?
Branch?
Well, he's technically a nickel back, which is a safety, but he is our best he is our best coverage person, hands down.
And Gardner Johnson's out still too.
Yeah, I think he might be back, or I think we're keeping him until playoffs. I think we might give him rest until playoffs since we don't absolutely need him. I think it would be smart to keep him.
It would be. But yeah, how much did you put on Mookie?
Originally, I have 11 on it. I'm going to switch it to my 15. So I'm going to move my 11 to the Browns and Bengals. And I think I'm going to switch that for another one down the road and give that one 13 instead of 15 and 11.
All right, well, moving on from that. We got...
Also,
what's up?
My score is 15-35 Lions, and my score for the Browns and Bengals was 14-23 Bengals.
I didn't set a score. So we'll say 79-3 Detroit. And we'll say like 17-10 Cleveland.
I have 31-17 Browns, and I have 38-17 Vikings. Or Lions, sorry.
Vikings. Let's go.
I also have Detroit scoring the most, and then I just went with Arizona.
I didn't do that, but
that was already done. I switched to Lions, like that was already done. That's been like all year, pretty much. But I ended up sticking with Detroit, and I forgot to switch Arizona. I was probably going to say Minnesota.
Yeah. Next up, we have Jacksonville and Tennessee, baby. This game.
I got 9 on Jags. I think Tennessee might be fighting still. Or are they out?
Who, Tennessee?
Yeah. Are they still contend?
I think they're out.
No, they're out. They've been out for a while.
Me and Mook were talking about this earlier, though. This division loves to have their worst team in the division, or like the bottom of the barrel teams, usually upset the teams that need to win just like one more game for playoffs.
You mean like I put 9 on Titans?
And
So
Tennessee went that they shouldn't.
yeah, it's a thing that happens in this division a lot where the teams will win games they should at the end of the year and keep the other team out of playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
And
Texans did it once before. I think we've seen the Colts do it, and we've seen Tennessee do it. I think before too.
Yeah.
Pretty sure if the
I've still
Jags,
done it a couple times.
they might be eliminated from playoffs. I don't know if the Steelers still their spot or
It's close.
well, Steelers already played, so if they've got the winning record right now, then I would imagine that they still their spot. If Steelers have 10 wins.
But I did put 9 on Jacksonville also because I'm not putting points on Tennessee again this year.
Yeah. I put 10 on the Jags.
Next up, we got the Stupid Bowl. New England versus the New York Jets. I got 3 on my boy Bailey Zappi. I don't know who the hell the Jets are even playing at quarterback anymore. Both these teams are borderline ass. But my boy Bailey Zappi is fucking at least got an offensive pulse to him, so I'll take him.
I also put 5 on the Patriots.
Mm. Well, I got 9 on the Jets. That defense is really good. And it's the last game of the season. Maybe the defense just says, fuck it, we're tired, but
Let's not get hurt for next year.
you know, I imagine the defense will still be solid.
Yeah.
75 points from New England incoming.
Zeke's going to pop off for 200.
Zeke has looked like prime Zeke too, which is kind of a slight to
The
Cowboys fans.
Yeah, the last few weeks Zeke has been running his ass off. And I'm sure Cowboys fans are like, that's what we need.
Yep.
Maybe not you, Mookie, but
It is sad that Pollard has taken such a downgrade. That leg injury is really, you can tell it's affected him.
oh man, don't tell that to Cowboys fans. They'll tell you it's the O line or the play calling or everything but Pollard.
Yeah.
I was just I'm in a couple Cowboy groups, and I was going through today reading that shit, and I almost like commented, but I'm like, oh, this is actually a Cowboys group.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's had runs, but like, he's definitely not the same player he was last season. Not at all. And you cannot tell me he is. And that's fair. He's coming off a hell of a leg injury, so going into next year, he could get back. We'll see. But next up, you have New Orleans versus Atlanta. Luke, would you like to start this one?
Well, for the sake of my bet, I'm going to make these picks because, spoiler, the Falcons can still get into the playoffs, but they need the Saints to lose to them, and they need the Panthers to beat the Bucks. So I have
Frozen.
8 on the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm mostly going with them for my bet.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Well, my Discord's frozen, so I'm about to back out. I
Alright,
can't do anything.
well, I'll just say my pick while you are do that. I got 5 on the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, shit, dude. You're telling me there's a chance Atlanta can make the playoffs? I said that they're gonna be the division leaders at the end of the year, at the beginning of this year. So, with a chance like this, fuck it, ride or die.
Going with the Saints.
No, the Falcons.
I went 2 on the Saints.
I'm writing my pick that I made at the beginning of the year where Atlanta was gonna lead the division. And I'm ride or dying it. Because it's still possible. And I also have 4 on Carolina beating Tampa Bay in concession.
No, that just sounds dumb.
It is dumb. I mean, Carolina's ass, but if I am
Yeah,
going
put
to
it on
want the
page.
Falcons to make the playoffs, I gotta take that.
Yeah, you gotta take that. It makes sense to vote Bucks and Falcons. Well, I took Saints and Bucks, so I'll put 7. I think they're just gonna go in and kind of smack Carolina
Probably.
around. I mean, that defense is. I mean, it's not the worst, but it ain't the best. And if Baker's gonna be on, when Baker is on, the man can play some fucking football. Okay, he came to Tampa. Everyone thought he was just gonna be terrible. He started that year out super hot. I mean, it wasn't all him. He had some bad games, but receivers, Godwin being out, Evans dropping balls, not playing like Mike Evans. I mean, a lot of shit can go wrong, but it's always put on Baker. So, I mean, he's going to get annihilated if he makes playoffs, but I'm pretty sure Tampa's out.
No, Tampa's in if they win, and
That's
New
right.
Orleans
They're
loses.
7th if they. That's right.
They are technically the division leaders right now.
Yeah.
Wait, they actually are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that division is actually low key anybody's division right now.
Yeah, that's right. There's like 2 divisions like that.
The Saints have the same record as them, and Atlanta has 1 less. But if Atlanta wins and the Panthers win, then Atlanta will go to playoffs because their division record will be 4-2. And they'll all be tied, those 3.
Yeah.
Which would be really fun.
Yeah, I put 1 on the Panthers. I think it'd be just so funny after my brother named his name, I lost to Baker. Could you imagine if Baker was the reason Tampa didn't go to the playoffs?
That would be crazy.
And then he would change his name to I lost because of Baker.
Now, the only thing that's scary about that is if Baker loses and then the Saints win.
That'd be funny. That'd be so fucking funny.
Bet. Because I think I'd still lose the bet, which would be ass.
Yeah. But yeah, Carolina, we're hoping for upset this week. Next
it
up,
would be a Carolina thing to do to go ahead and win a game that doesn't mean shit.
I mean, I don't know because they just don't know what winning is like there.
No,
they don't have a winning culture at all.
Their best players like 65.
Ever
66.
since Cam Newton left, they haven't had a winning culture.
No, that is true. They have a Cam Newton curse right now.
And this is a team that had C-Mac and still couldn't do anything.
So, CJ's drafted. CJ instead of Bryce. Is it same?
Hmm?
If CJ is drafted in replace of Bryce and the roles are flipped, are the teams the same? Or would Carolina be better than Houston?
I think Carolina would be better. I don't know if they'd be better than Houston. Because here's what I think. I think Houston was more built to bring in a guy than Carolina was. And Carolina was looking for a guy who could build them, essentially.
Tank Dell wouldn't be in Houston. He'd be in Carolina.
Yeah, but still, it's like that O-line's still not that good. The play calling is still different. It's like, I think Carolina, they drafted for next year. I don't think Bryce, I said this before, I think Bryce is going to be very much a second-year player. You're going to see a lot of improvement like Trevor Lawrence next year. Because I think they're going to actually build around him. And everybody's going to rule him out as a threat. And then he's going to be like, I'm here still, bitches.
Well, I mean, if they didn't give up that first round that pick, they could get Harrison.
But I think they're going to build around him. I think he's going to be much better next year. I think if they drafted CJ Stroud, yeah, they'd be better. But I think CJ Stroud would also be in a lot more danger of injury. And I think his career would be in a lot more jeopardy. Even though he's gotten injured with the Texans. But I think it would... I don't think he'd be as explosive on Carolina as he is with the Texans. Does that make sense? I think,
Also, what?
as for Bryce Young, I think he'd probably look like, if the Texans draft, I think we'd see more of like Alex Smith type stats.
Yeah.
Not anything crazy. They wouldn't want to do too much. Just let him get used to throwing in that system.
So, Mookie,
What's up?
you watched the game, right?
Which one?
Our game last week.
Yeah, I've seen most of it.
Did you see Aiden's sacks?
No. Were they nasty?
So he did what's called drop your hit tackle, where he wraps the waist and just pretty much puts his ass to the ground. Would you guys consider that dirty? With the way the NFL is right now, that you can't roll over a quarterback, you can't lay on them too hard. Do you
I
think?
was falling on the guy. You're not falling on solid ground.
Right. I've seen a lot of hate because people called it dirty because the way he took down Dak.
Bro, I don't know, dude. Dirty hits, you can't even call a thing a dirty hit anymore because there's no bar. There's no measurable bar that's consistent with dirty hits anymore. They need to fix that. Like, I saw a video. I was saying how hard hitting is dead in the NFL. And it was this dude reviewing like Cam Chancellor hits. You know, what was his name? Sean Taylor. I was like,
yeah,
he was like, back in the day, you could hit him as hard as you possibly could, as long as you hit them clean. And it was very distinguishable. It was a clean hit.
Was that the same one Tom Brady was in?
I think so. Yeah. Tom Brady said that it's even getting soft.
It's not the defender's job to protect the receiver.
Yeah, that too.
The quarterback's job, and that's why Tom said there was times. He said when I played Ray, he said I didn't send anyone over the middle, unless you were a decoy. I wasn't throwing you the ball. He said because of my receivers, but he said nowadays, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it was the Broncos. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but he has like a whole football channel. He's a Broncos fan, and he was talking about the guy, their safety. Who is the Broncos safety? The old guy who played in that era.
John Lynch.
No, he's still playing. No, he's still playing right now.
But he's still playing now, and he's Denver.
He played in that era, and he was a big hitter also.
I don't even know.
Either way, they have him, and he's been getting fined and like suspended for hits that one of them was bad, but the other ones are like, what? It's crazy.
It's gonna be flag football soon.
Yeah, and it's just like it's trending in a not fun path. Because when people play football, they know what they signed up for. NFL players even have come out and said, "We know what we signed up for." Like, you're gonna get hit hard. Just be smart and don't hold the ball. Like don't run into it. Yeah.
Like Tom said, he said the basics are gone. The fundamentals of football are gone. It's just kids coming in, getting paid without even having to just like in basketball. What Kobe said, people you're paying these kids for what you think they're gonna be. Like you don't know the talent. Like you're paying them for a projection. Like this is what they should be, so pay them. Not what they are, pay them, kind of thing, you know.
Yep. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Exactly.
But yeah, the officiating needs to get a lot more locked in on what penalties are.
Yeah, they're getting.
It's been very bad this year. A lot of people have been saying it's been terrible.
Remember the replacement officials or whatever that we had 8 years ago? When they screwed that Seattle Green Bay game up and a bunch of others because I guess the referees, I forgot what they were called, but they weren't so they were officials, but they weren't the actual big dog officials that usually officiate the football games because they were on strike or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they brought in a bunch of other ones that were terrible. Well, these guys are just as bad.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous. I just want there to be consistency in the officiating. I don't care. Like
Yes.
if they called big hits like that a penalty, but it was consistent. Yeah, it sucked because I like big hits, but at least it's consistent. You know, because there's no there's no way to tell if you're gonna get flags for a hit now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very bad for defenders. Like, and now they fined so many people this year. Like, they've made so much money from fining people this year.
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous what they're doing.
But
It's sad.
Next up, we can move on from that. But it's good that we gave that a section, honestly, because it has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
We got Green Bay versus Chicago.
I got 3 on Green Bay. Honestly, this game, it's going to go either way. They both play in the cold. Justin Fields, he honestly has been playing incredible. His receivers kind of look like KC receivers. I mean, I don't know if you guys recall the last few weeks. Last week, he actually had one thrown to Komet or one of his other receivers, and they dropped it, and it could have been a game winner.
Mooney. Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like, honestly, Fields is doing his part, but I don't know if his receivers are going to be doing their part.
Yeah, I mean, Komet and Moore are usually consistent, but yeah.
Yes. And, like, I get, like, you can drop here and there, but, like, on a big-time catch, like, you got to bring it in. That's just, it's huge. So that's why I took Green Bay, because I just think that they're going to have a little more of an edge being at home. It's hard to play in Lambeau. I mean, it's not like Chicago's Detroit and is going to go in there and knock them out of the playoffs like we did last year.
Yeah,
You could, though. I mean, they could, though. It's winning in.
And honestly, I would love Chicago to be in. But I would rather see Love over Fields.
Well, Chicago can't get in.
Yeah, no, they can't get in at all.
I thought they had like a very small, like a very. Did that already get canceled out?
Yeah, it died last week.
Oh, so it died last. Okay, I thought that was still this week as well.
And that's why I got 11 on Green Bay, because if they win, they can make it in the playoffs. So they're going to play a lot harder than Chicago, I think.
That makes sense.
The Bears are playing for nothing but to spoil the Packers season.
I do think Fields. I've been saying it. Caleb's brought up a lot too. That he thinks Fields is gone. I think Fields is there. I think Fields is there going into next year. I don't think.
The fans want him. The
fans want him.
Chanted,
and he's been playing really good football.
Great.
Like, he is playing on another level. It's canceled out because he's on the fucking Bears.
Like, that second game back when he played Detroit and they almost beat us. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff sees what they have now. They're going to keep him. What are they going to do with their pick? That's going to be pretty high up there. Who knows? That's going to be interesting. But I just don't see him moving off the field. I just don't. Because the fan base is behind that man. And the fans have a lot of power when it comes to things like this.
Well, I'm going 7 with the Bears. I'm bearing down, baby.
Oh, he bearing down to see them knock out Green Bay. You know what?
I think it's going to be a repeat of last year, and Green Bay fans are going to cry.
If Green Bay gets knocked out this week, I think Fields is 100% staying.
I think I'm going with Chicago with 3. I'm going to switch it over. I just want to see Chicago knock them out. I want to see it happen back to back years.
I'm going to step with Green Bay.
Is playing to knock them out. They talked so much shit at the beginning of the year to each other. I mean, at least the fans, I feel like. And I feel like the fans have a little bit of power to try to shape it. And I think not Detroit, but the Bears are going to want this. And they've been playing really good football, so I think it's possible. So I'm going with the Bears to spoil the Packers.
I'm going with you, Mookie.
I can see it. I just put 11 on the Packers because I didn't know where to put my 11.
Let's see.
But yeah, I don't like picking Green Bay at all. Green Bay's been really inconsistent for pick'ems, it feels like.
they're wasting a lot of good talent in that receiving core, young talent.
Green Bay needs to learn how to throw more than one receiver per game. They need to learn how to use their better running back. Or, well, at this point, they need to ship out their running backs and get new ones because they clearly don't want to use Aaron Jones. They clearly lost AJ Dillon somehow. Like, he hasn't been running the same, so they need to bring somebody in to run that backfield. I honestly think they need to get rid of their coordinator, their offensive coordinator. I think he is.
Yeah, if they want
I think he's
Jordan Love to do anything, they need to run.
I think their offensive coordinator is fucking awful. I've watched so many Packer games, and the fact that when I watch a Packer game, and they only throw one receiver the whole game and run like 5 times every time this year, that is not okay.
Yeah, they were pretty easy to beat this. Well, except Thanksgiving when we lose, but when we played them in the beginning of the year, like their play calling was so like we lose in
The
Thanksgiving.
defensive coordinator also isn't that great either. Like he runs the same stuff the whole time.
Yeah, no, with that defense they had and what we did, I was just like, okay. But like it's definitely the coordinators, and I think that head coach is going to be soon.
Yeah, I think they need to do a staff clean out. I mean, maybe keep the head coach, maybe not, because at the end of the day, he is the one okaying a lot of the plays still. So, I mean, I don't know, man. They just need to fix their staff. I think it's very much a staff issue in Green Bay, and not so much a player issue. So, what does that mean for Jordan Love? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Jordan Love is. And we watched a whole year of him starting, and we don't know what he is still. That is not okay.
It's not okay, which means like, I don't.
So I imagine he's starting next year. I don't see a world where he's not starting next year because what the hell is Jordan Love? I've seen flashes of excellency from him. I've seen flashes of astoundingly bad plays from him. It's just like you need another year of Jordan Love in there, but you need to get the right staff around him.
Yeah, that's the problem. They don't really know how to use them.
Yep. But yeah, moving on. We got Las Vegas Raiders going against the Denver Broncos, who are not using Russell Wilson.
I'll put 8 on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders, I mean, I think they're looking all right. You know, they got rid of some problems, dealing with others, feeling confident, got a guy in there who just, team loves and will battle. I mean, I think that team would walk him through Compton. Like, they love him, they love to play for him, and they fight for him.
Yeah, I mean, that defense has looked a lot better, too, ever since he took over.
Oh, yeah. As soon as he took over, like, that team was just something else.
Yeah, I got 12 on the Raiders. I mean, Denver, they were fighting for a playoff spot. They still technically are, I think. But you switch quarterback in the middle of fighting for a spot.
I think he did that because he wants to draft. He knew he would win with Russell, and he knows that the dudes that he has, he's going to put a plan up, of course, but
I just
he's
don't
not looking to.
I don't get it, man. I just think he should let Russell Wilson do his thing. You're already this far in the year. You already have that chance to make playoffs. You can't get that much higher of a pick if you're losing out now. I mean, I think they played the backup last week and they won. But I don't know, man. I just think Russ gave him the best chance to win now. I think Denver is going to get shit on by defenses that has been playing a lot better than it was at the beginning of the year. The Raiders' defense is scary towards the end of the year, in my opinion.
They came around. That is for sure. So they started definitely playing. Something switched and clicked.
Yeah, poor Russ, man. Russ has had his fucking reputation dragged through the mud and tarnished for no good reason.
Getting crapped on.
Even by his former teammates. Like, bro, this ain't This isn't needed. Yeah. Like, that man's just trying to live life and play football at a high level. I mean, obviously he hasn't been playing that well this year, but man, he didn't need everybody dumping on him.
Oh, listen, he's just taking care of future kids. That's it.
Yeah, true.
I put 6 on the Raiders. I think the Broncos have been kind of lucky the last few weeks with really weird play calling, but it's been working out. So I think their defense is getting lucky on the turnovers. So I think the Raiders' offense is about to cook.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden O'Connell looks good. He's a good safety quarterback. I don't think he's the guy there yet, but I think he is a guy that you can put in the start.
Yeah.
But yeah, next up, we got my 15-pointer. Philadelphia versus the Giants. I got 15 on Philly. Don't care if they're playing their backups, because that means Marcus Mariota and Gainwell.
I mean, they're not.
But they're not even going to play their backups because they're competing for a higher seed. Yeah. So the Giants are about to die.
Dallas for second seed. I got 13 on them.
I got 4 on the Giants. I'm here for a Philly collapse. Nothing would make me more happy. So this one might be a pick with my heart.
It definitely is a pick with your heart. There's no might about it.
They lost to Arizona, and Arizona lost to the Giants. So Philly could lose.
I mean, they beat them last time. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. They took care of business. It was closer than I would like, but they took care of business. But yeah, moving on, we got Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I think to end the year off and give us some positive momentum going into next year, we're going to see a very good game from Kyler Murray this week. I think we're going to go into or home also, so that's nice. I think we're going to beat the shit out of Seattle this week to give us a lot of positive momentum going into next year. Kyler kind of asserting himself in the division again at the end of the year.
Honestly, I could see him and McBride hooking up quite a bit.
Him and McBride and him and Wilson.
Well, you do know the only tight end that's going to be higher drafted in fantasy is, right? Than McBride.
It's going to be T.J. Hawkinson. It's going to be McBride. It's going to be Kelsey, obviously. It's going to be Laporta also. I wasn't doing a specific order. I was naming the people that are up in that caliber.
So they literally did like a thing. It said Laporta 1, McBride 2. Who was number 3? It wasn't
Hawkinson.
Hawkinson. Number 4 was Kelsey. And then number 5 was, I can't remember, but pretty much Laporta.
Was it Komet at 5? Komet has been really good, so I would imagine.
Yeah, it was Komet, and that's like your top 5 tight ends to draft.
Yeah, those are definitely the upper echelon of tight end, in my opinion, also.
So, what I think is really cool is we have Laporta needs 1 reception to break Ella Winslow's rookie receptions.
Yep, and he's probably going to get that.
I could probably put money on that.
But yeah, no, it is nice to see that McBride, he's a monster. He's doing, and once we have people to kind of take coverage off of him, I am excited to see what he does. Because I'm seeing what he does now, when he's like the only receiver out there. Well, the only big play threat, I guess. He is Marquise Brown, he's a burner. Michael Wilson, he's a rookie. He has some hiccups here and there, but I like him a lot too. But McBride's been that guy.
That could do something.
I mean, McBride caught the game winner, I'm pretty sure, last week, though. Or not McBride, Wilson. But yeah, I think this is gonna be Murray come into the division and be like, I'm here. Don't forget about me. And we're gonna drop like 30 points.
My first thought. because Seattle's fighting for something. But I want to say Arizona can knock them down.
Probably can and probably will. I think.
I'm going to switch it over to Arizona.
But I really think Murray's about to have a big game this week to kind of reestablish himself in our division.
Well, I also have 5 on the Cardinals. Well, I don't know how much you put on them, but I have 5 on the Cardinals.
I have 10 on it.
My bad. I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
I think I have a world where Diablo is watching this game and he hears that the Bears have just beat the Packers, but this game's close. It's in overtime. And you wouldn't believe it, but the Cardinals start with the ball and Murray drives it down the field to McBride for a touchdown. Game's over. Seattle's playoffs hopes.
Read option. 1st and 10. Murray keeps it.
Hurdles the defender.
Cuts it back in. McBride absolutely smashes Tariq Woolen.
Also, we can't forget about James Conner, who has single-handedly won us like 2 games.
Yeah, Conner been playing.
He's been a monster, low-key this year. Like, he's been playing out of his mind for no good reason, man. I do think we are probably gonna need to get another back to supplement him. I think, well, we kind of already did. We got Michael Carter from the Jets, who I really like. But James Conner gets gassed really quickly. That's the only downside with him.
Yeah, he's probably.
But he is amazing. Like I'm like, I watch him. I'm like, God damn, he is good. But yeah, it should be a fun one. I think it will be close, no matter what, probably. But
and it's always a good Seattle Arizona. It's always a good game, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Even when we had fucking Drew Stanton starting. Watch this game come down to a Matt Prater field goal, though.
I mean, he is a god.
He is the best line of all time, and now he's vying for second best Cardinal of all time.
Yeah, because nobody beats Fitzy Wits.
Yeah, no, there's no one that's ever gonna beat that man.
No, Fitz is literally probably the greatest Cardinal legend.
Love that man.
Oh,
but
yes, I love Fitz.
Moving on, we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
I got 11 on the Chiefs because Mahomes and Kelsey know it is crunch time. And Mahomes knows it is now on him. He knows he doesn't have help. He knows that it's probably going to be a long shot that if they're going to make it or even be able to compete with Buffalo, Miami, or Baltimore. But this game, I mean, Chargers are rough.
Yeah, I mean, I got 14 on KFC. I don't see the Chargers team who is not using Herbert. Yeah. I think Herbert's not playing now, right?
No, I'm pretty. Yeah,
he was out for the year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So without Herbert, Eckler doesn't look the same. I'm pretty sure is Keenan Allen still out? I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of variables on that team that I'm like, if KC loses to the Chargers. Then you gotta press the panic button in KC. You gotta press that panic button real quick. If they lose to the Chargers this week.
Well, I mean, are they even playing Mahomes and Kelsey? I don't think they can go up or down. I think they're locked into the.
It'd be like 3rd or 4th. They're like 9-5, 9-6.
Yeah, I think they're locked into the 3 seed.
They can because the Jags are like 8-8. So if the Jags win, KC lose, they're tied. So I'm pretty sure starters are playing.
KC beat the.
I mean, even without the starters, I'm keeping.
I mean, either way, it's going to be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going 14 on the Chiefs, but I'm just saying I don't think they're going to be playing Mahomes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe for like a half a quarter or something.
Mahomes don't get hurt, though.
Well, moving on, another fun one is San Francisco versus the Rams.
Which I think no one's playing any other starters in this game either.
I'm pretty sure the Rams are playing their starters.
The Rams are.
I am 100% that the Rams are playing their starters, actually.
Yes, they are.
They,
They need to.
I have 7 on the Rams for that reason because they are a scary team. They need to make. They want to make playoffs. They've rested Kyren for this reason, so they can play hard at the end of the year. Like Cup's been looking good. They've been looking like
How much?
the Rams that won the Super Bowl this lately.
How much did you
so
say you had on the Rams?
I put 7 on the Rams.
Oh, I put 12.
But yeah, they are looking like the Rams that won that Super Bowl last season.
So I mean, San Fran
They're
ain't
not
really they're locked in.
Yeah.
So if they lose, right?
Right.
And you have a Stafford who not only has a one good receiver,
3 good
two good
receivers.
receivers, 3 good receivers, decent tight end. Oh hey,
And 4 if you count Kyren.
Exactly. So like, I could see the Rams coming in and being the Giants, who were 9-6, just like I said last week or the week before.
Honestly, I could see him dropping
Rams
40
have a
this week.
Yeah, I think they have a shot, and if they beat San Fran, they put the league kind of on notice. Like, hey, we did win it. So
I think the Rams are the scariest team to get first round of the playoff.
yeah, you don't want them.
I think they're easily the scariest team because they look hungry.
They do, because they're all actually finally playing together.
Yep.
Well, it looks like it'll be the Lions unless they lose and they get
The Lions versus Rams would be such a fire matchup to get first.
There was a post that said it would be Goff or Stafford.
Yeah.
First, yeah.
It's a revenge game for both.
Yeah, it's a revenge game, and it would be Stafford's first playoff win as a lot, like in Ford Field, and then it would be Goff's as well, being a Lion now.
That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So
there's a lot of history in that matchup.
How rigged is the fucking NFL for some of this shit? Browns, Lions, 30 years. I mean, like, I don't know.
But yeah.
Moving on.
We got Dallas versus Washington. I mean, bro, it's the same story. Dallas 13. Washington.
I put 15 on Washington. Just because, Cowboys don't got the rest of them this time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kidding. I got 15 on Cowboys.
Yeah, no. I mean, Washington.
Oh, it's a disaster. They had some young talent they wasted for sure, and it kind of hurts your heart. Poor Scary.
I don't know what to make of
Jonathan Dotson,
their quarterback Powell either. I don't know what to make. I mean, he's had those games, but I don't know. He kind of reminds me of like a Fitzmagic who can win you those games and be explosive, but he's not consistent.
He's gonna be that backup. He's gonna be a great backup.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's the next incarnation of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, there it is.
I just don't think he's the guy.
This next one. Oh, nope. Mookie. He didn't go, sorry. I'm excited for this next one. I got a lot of points on it.
I've got 16 on Dallas. I think Dallas is playing for the Bills, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing for a seed. Washington's ass. And for the final game, we got the rematch. The Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins.
Buffalo took the first one.
Yep. What's crazy about this one, if Buffalo wins, they're the 2 seed. If they lose, they're potentially out of playoffs.
Yes.
And I think they get the wild card.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would get a wild card. But Miami.
If they win,
on them.
Yeah, 13 on Miami.
14.
Oh, okay.
Damn. You that confident?
I am. They know what they need to do this time. I don't know what happened early on in the season.
It was a out of state game.
Show.
I'm pretty sure it was an out of state game also when they first played. Which also contributes to it.
Oh, it was. Yeah, because they didn't get much rest. They both were fatigued, kind of almost. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it was the Germany game, maybe? I don't know.
It was the Germany.
But yeah, it was
I just Miami's just they're scary, and any team that has Tyreek, you can't count out because you can't cover them. All you do is shade a lot of green and hope to God one of your guys is going to be there before the ball. That's how you cover Tyreek. Because I mean, when they're trailing, what do? Tyreek run, Tua look, and Tyreek just does shit. And he cuts so quick, he hits speed so. I mean, he's a freaking Olympian track runner, pretty much. Like, the dude's fast. And Allen, he does like to turn it over. So we'll see. I'm gonna go with Miami though. I just think they got it together more than Buffalo. And it's go time now, early in the season. Something like that. It's a big thing.
Do you know
So,
how many receiving yards Tyreek Hill currently has?
I think he's under almost he's within 200 of the record.
Yep.
Or
He has
2000.
1,717 yards on the season.
Yeah. So he needs to have a game.
And the record held by Calvin Johnson is 1964. So he's there. He is. If he, I think he said he wants it.
Yeah, he said it.
And I think he's going to get it. I think he is going to blow out this game.
Yes, they are gonna just.
I put 8 on Miami. I think Tyreek is going to feast this week. I think he is going to be used in the backfield at wide receiver. At kick return even probably. I think he is just going to be everywhere because he wants that yard mark. And that would be one hell of a way to break the record at the end of the year with a huge game.
Just to blow out one of the bigger competitors like that, like Buffalo. And I just don't see Buffalo taking both games.
Yeah. So I think Tyreek, he's hungry. When Tyreek's hungry, that's scary.
This might be your shooter game
This
of the week.
is probably your shooter game of the week, led by Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Tyreek is about to feast.
I got 3 on the Buffalo Bills. I think they're winning the 2 seed. I think it'd be a great story for the Bills constantly having to fight. And we kind of thought that they were. I don't really know what to make of the Bills.
You say we, but it was y'all.
Yeah. But
I literally was saying Buffalo had the number 1 offense, and Miami had the second best back when they played.
I never ruled Buffalo out of playoff contention like Caleb did.
There's I don't know how you can say there's 7 other teams better than Buffalo in the AFC. You can name off 3 to 4 possibly.
All season long, I was like, yeah, they haven't been looking good, but at the end of the day, they're still Buffalo, and they'll probably find a way in the playoff.
Yes.
And
great players find a way to win.
Now here we are, and they're looking at playoffs potentially.
So, I got 3 on Buffalo. I think they take the second one.
If they lose this, they can still make playoffs, right? It just depends.
If they lose, I think Pittsburgh gets that spot.
Okay, so they have to win or tie.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I think if with the Buffalo loss and a Pittsburgh win, Pittsburgh takes it.
So they need to win or tie.
Yeah. Or if this game ends in a tie, I think Buffalo instantly clinches. And then I think they're just playing for who gets the second, who gets the 6th seed. Also, my most is Detroit this week, and my least is Tampa Bay. Because if Tampa Bay is gonna lose, it's got to be a terrible game.
Funny, but yeah, should be some fun games. Also, unrelated to pick'ems, but I am the fantasy football champion in my league, my Yahoo league.
I did see that. Congrats, my brother.
Yeah,
I played you.
Mook,
I would have won.
but you didn't play me because you suck and lost. So get out of here.
I can be honest with my league. Like probably 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, I probably stopped caring. And in some of them, I was just like, I want to tank just to get like better picks, just because I need it.
Yeah, no. Sadly, the dynasty didn't go as I was hoping. Had one bad week, and it happened to be the playoff week. So that's how it goes. I still got a really
Yeah.
stacked team though, so I'm not too worried about it.
I was looking to whoop your ass in Dynasty, but
Yeah, and you lost in those playoffs too before you could play me. So shut the hell up.
I would have lost to you by like 10 points or so.
That'd
If
been
I
great.
played you that week, I would have cried. I'm like, life's cruel. But I can still win in my money league. For whatever reason, we went to week 18, which is disgusting.
Oh, that's awful.
I'll take it because I would have lost, and I still have a chance to win.
I won
my
the
starting
When I
QB.
won a chicken dinner,
Yahoo League, and the fucked up thing is I was in a Discord call hanging out with some people. Asian swings by, and the other person in our league, Laura, was my first opponent for playoffs, or my second opponent. He swings by and goes, GG Laura, congrats on a championship. I'm like, motherfucker, our game hasn't even started!
it's
So,
Asian.
that made
That
the
Asian
victory
kid, yeah.
all the more sweet while I won the championship.
He tried to do the Buddha Buddha.
Yeah, he did it the reverse way though, because it affected Laura. But yeah. So that happened. And I'm happy. I won a championship this year, or last year, I guess technically. So doubly. But yeah. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching or listening and hanging out.
Until then.
And
Bye.
yeah. See you guys in playoffs, I guess. Bye.